So why is it so important right now to have a greater awareness of our frequency and the vibration that we are emitting? Why is that so important right now with the state of affairs that we are experiencing? Well, if you think about the fact that so many people are suffering and struggling, and that there are more and more people awakening, or so it appears, then having awareness of what we are putting out is contributing to changing and shifting our collective experience. If we don't pay attention, we will just continue to contribute to old patterns, behaviors, and directives that are not our creation. Hi, welcome back. It is October the 31st. Happy Halloween, everyone. For those of you who celebrate Halloween, all the kids getting excited and ready to go trick-or-treating in the areas. For us here, we definitely celebrate Halloween, putting out decorations because we are fortunate enough to be able to do that and to be able to share our prosperity, to be able to have enough to share and to celebrate and to be excited and to offer that childlike mentality, that frequency of giving, the frequency of wanting to engage in a playful, hopeful experience that's fun. With all of that negativity coming in at us from every different angle, it's important for us to take moments when we can, if we have the opportunity, to be able to show our youngsters especially how important it is to check our frequency, to engage in a way that is very pure and mindful. I've been speaking a lot lately about frequency, as usual. And this morning I was woken up at about 2:30 in the morning with this whole conversation that I had been having in my dream about frequency and how, being energetic beings, we are frequency and we vibrate that frequency out into our field, which engages with others who have their own field, and we come into contact with each other at different times. And our frequency will shift and change, which our vibration also shifts and changes, right? Coming from source. And so it's no wonder that we struggle in relationships trying to connect with others who our vibrations are just not, they're not meant to be cohesive. They cannot match, they cannot intertwine. They either are, one is a higher, one is lower, one is very chaotic and the other is very controlled, the level of entropy. And so when you think of that, use language. So frequency is a language, right? People have the ability to speak many different languages, but there's one that is their primary language, the one that they are most comfortable with, their fallback. And that's where this high frequency comes from. So many people resonate at a much higher frequency. It's their primary language. Just like many people are at a lower frequency, and that's their primary language. So as much as they may be able to rise, their baseline is to come back down again. And it's no different from someone whose primary language is high, they lower. But they're always going to return to their baseline, to their primary form of communication. And so when we're struggling in relationships, think about it this way. If I'm having all of these challenges with someone, what if I just thought that they're speaking a whole another language? So maybe I speak English, someone else speaks French, and I don't understand French. I don't then get angry because they speak French. They may be able to, we could get a few words out and communicate with each other. But instead we recognize that that's not our primary language. And so we either together actively come to an understanding, a common reciprocal understanding and agreement of this is our baseline. So this is our engaged, interconnected field of energy that we both contribute to, but we're still going to return to center, to our primary language. Don't be angry at someone else for having a different primary language or a different frequency. Just acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. And if two people are willing to co-create a different space and from where they can really understand each other, fantastic. But it's not up to one side. That's not possible. It's not possible, because if you think of that, if you're a high frequency and you've lowered yourself to be able to communicate at that low frequency because the low frequency refuses to rise, what's going to happen? Your energy is just funneling out because you're never recalibrating yourself, same as low. Low frequency, if they were to stay at risen all of the time, and that's not their normal baseline, then realistically, it's going to become very agitating because they're also not recalibrating. We are in a continuum, and we must, like breathing, move, and our frequency emits that vibration and resonance. So just acknowledge the differences and co-create spaces where you can communicate clearly and effectively, but without any kind of shame, blame, judgment, or resistance. Just notice it, acknowledge it, and the other person acknowledge, and move along. Kids have enough to be stressed about. Let them be kids. Let them have fun. Let them imagine and create and not fixate on things that they cannot control and have no business even worrying about. Our energetic imprint moving forward, the frequency that we are emitting, needs to put some protection in place for our children, for future generations, for the most vulnerable. So having the awareness of what your primary language of frequency is so important, so that you can manage it and control it, and to also recognize what you are putting out and where you're putting it out, because everyone is receiving it. And if you've got children in your space, you need to be extra mindful, because you are influencing them, whether you know it or not. And so if you are a very low frequency, you will be flooding low frequency out. And like everything, we need to be in balance. We need to be in balance. And it's your job to be in balance and to take care of those who don't have that awareness yet. And here's our drone. Love it. Oh, and another one. Nice. Oh, we're circling. Oh, hi. I just love it. Oh my gosh, right above us. See the face in the cloud? Oh. Oh. It is so cold outside, I had to get in the truck. I swear it's gonna snow. It's probably like 5, but it feels like it's -5. So as you go about your day, which is often what I say, as you go about your day, check in with yourself. See how you're feeling. Notice if you are being really agitated by things, or maybe you are extra elevated. Maybe you are experiencing an extreme of emotions that are high and low, or you're just gently moving through the day. None of it is wrong. None of it. It's the awareness of it. How am I feeling? What is happening? And then you will know what energy that you are putting out, what you're attracting in, and maybe what you're also absorbing if you're spending any length of time with anyone or in an environment that is contributing to these experiences that you're having. It's having the awareness of it, checking in, noticing. And then when you notice and you see these repeating patterns in same places or with same people, like we've talked about before, it's the disconnection from it. If you're comfortable in speaking about it and it's something that would be a conversation that is beneficial, talk about it with the person in a way that is received, not confrontational, but exploratory, curious. I'm noticing, I've been thinking about it. Every time I come to this place, I feel really tired. I feel really heavy. And then I'm agitated after. And I find that so odd and curious. Have you had that experience? Or saying something like, have you noticed that every time we get together, our conversation seems to veer off into complaints, into negative topics that are dark, and that it just stays there? That we don't come back and talk about positive things and changes and improvement? Have you noticed that? Or when we get together, what would you say is the energy that I emit? What do you feel from me? Or do you even have an awareness of it? And if those doors are open and those conversations can be had, that's very beneficial. It helps you to choose where you are best suited, where your frequency and energy is connecting. And if it's connecting in places where it's concerning, then you have to look at that too and make some changes with yourself. What are you thinking? What are you telling yourself? What do you believe? Because what you think, tell, and believe is what you are putting out, and it is what you are attracting. And that's up to you to change it. Nobody else can come in and change that. So why is it so important right now to have a greater awareness of our frequency and the vibration that we are emitting? Why is that so important right now with the state of affairs that we are experiencing? Well, if you think about the fact that so many people are suffering and struggling, and that there are more and more people awakening, or so it appears, then having awareness of what we are putting out is contributing to changing and shifting our collective experience. If we don't pay attention, we will just continue to contribute to old patterns, behaviors, and directives that are not our creation. Us just following blindly along. Stepping into our awakening means operating from a very conscious place. One where we take accountability and action and make changes. We don't blame our environment for our problems. We assess. We gain some perspective. We use our discernment. And then we take action. What else is there? Just sit in your suffering? Go back to being blindly faithful? Can't even say the words. That's how opposed I am to that. Can't even say the words. That's not a thing. Once you're awakened, there is no going back. Until next time, everyone, stay safe and stay connected, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.